Welcome to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. If you're visiting Playa, you might be wondering what you're going to be eating besides tacos. And while there are a lot of tacos and very good tacos, Playa actually has a great variety of food options here. I actually have a whole video that I published last year just on the food variety in Playa, but when you're here you can find ramen, sushi, Greek, Italian, different variety of Mexican foods as well, but you're not going to have any problem kind of mixing it up, changing it up. You have your, street taco vendors, you have your nice higher end restaurants, you have your beach clubs, and you have sort of like mid-range restaurants. So you really have like a good mix of different food options when you're here. As far as like vegan and vegetarian and more healthy options, Playa actually has a really strong subculture of like healthy living. And so you're actually gonna find a lot of organic and vegan and vegetarian restaurants as well. So there's Bio Organico, there's 100% natural, there's the Pitted Date, which is a vegan restaurant, and I've even seen vegan bakeries around town too. So that shouldn't be an issue when you're here. There is a lot of healthy options that don't include meat or other ingredients while you're here. Grocery stores, there are a few. So there's like little stores along town. So you have like the corner convenience stores, you can pick up really small things. There are mid-sized grocery stores, like right by us there's a grocery store called Willie's, where you can pick up more grocery type items. And if you want to do a bigger grocery trip, there's Super Aquí, there's a Mega Soriano, and then there is also a Walmart. So depending on sort of what side of town you're on and what kind of products you need to go purchase, you can pick any of those stores. So when you're here, you will be eating more than tacos, I promise. The thing you actually might get a little more tired of is the Mexican beer. Growing up in Texas, I've had all the Mexican beers. I love them, they're great, but there's not a lot of variety outside of the Dos Equis, Corona, Tecate Light, Modelo when you're here. So that's probably the one thing that I get tired of faster than getting tired of tacos. So one of the really fun things I love about Playa is just the variety of food and different restaurants. So right now we are about to eat at Alux Restaurant. It's actually a cave restaurant. So we actually spent most of the day exploring different cenotes and caves. And now we're gonna be eating dinner at a cave. So it's just really cool. Just another like little fun thing that you can do in Playa. Okay, so this restaurant is super cool. It's like a proper like cave that you can go and walk around and actually explore. So it is a cenote. So we learned today there are wet cenotes and dry cenotes. So the wet ones are obviously the ones you swim in, but then there's also dry ones like this where you can, I guess, apparently make a restaurant. We also learned today about the Alux. So here is a little sign and a little temple down here below. You can kind of see. So the restaurant's named after these, and these are like little underground, mischievous, gnome-like, legends that live in the underground caves and take care of everything when the people are not around. So that is the name of the restaurant. They have a little temple here, which is super cute, where you can give like offerings and stuff. And there's all sorts of legends and stories around town. But yeah, this is Alux Cave Restaurant. One of the things I really love about Playa is just how easy it is to get around. So when you're here, walking is the main form of transportation that I use. It takes about 30 minutes to walk from CTM, where I like to stay, down to the very end ferry port. So it's not bad. So most places are going to take you 10-15 minutes to get to. The locals all pretty much drive cars and scooters. So if you're here for a little bit, you might want to rent a scooter, but it's not necessary. Walking is just fine. Also, you can also rent a bicycle. So I know some people who there's weekly and monthly bike rentals here, as well as you could just purchase a bike for cheap if you're here for long enough and then sell it before you leave. So that's another option. There are tons of taxis everywhere. So when you are going from place to place, or maybe you're dressed up nice and maybe you don't want to walk, taxis are fine. They'll also take you down to like the different areas. You can take them to Cancun or the cenotes or anything like that. So they're going to be your most expensive option, but if you have a group of you, that's usually just fine to kind of split that cost. And then there's also a bus system. So there is the ADO bus. It is a national bus system. It's a big red coach bus, and that actually can take you all over the country. So I'm going to take it here in a couple weeks down to Bacalar, but you can also take it from the Cancun airport here down to Tulum. Really any of like the major cities that you want to go to, you can take the ADO bus. It's nice, it's air conditioned, and it's pretty inexpensive. And then the other buses that you can take are called collectivos. So these are smaller, like 15 passenger vans, but they don't have set stops, but they kind of have set routes. So I've actually taken these a couple times down to Tulum or to different cenotes as well. And those are another really great way, a cheap way to get around. It's what the locals use a lot of. And so it's definitely like a nice, fun experience. So yeah, that is, I think, all the ways to get around Playa del Carmen.